This night was the most special in Ranveer and Radhika's life. Radhika was sitting on the bed with her veil drawn. The room was filled with the light of lamps and the fragrance of flowers. Ranveer went near her and slowly lifted her veil. Radhika had her eyes downcast. Seeing this, Ranveer held her face in his hands, and Radhika met his gaze. Seeing her beautiful smile, Ranveer felt 1,000 knives pierce his heart. He smiled and slowly moved his face closer to her. Radhika closed her eyes, and their lips touched. After that, Ranveer lovingly placed his hand on her neck and made her lie down. Then, lying close to her, he started loving her. And that's how their beautiful moment began. That same night, around 9 p.m., Gaurav was sitting in his room, irritated. What a brother he is. His younger brother hasn't been married even once, and he's got a second one too. And what a beautiful girl he got for Gaurav. Radhika's image was flashing before his eyes and he was unwillingly thinking about her. He was lost in this thought when someone knocked on the door. "Who has come to die at this hour, friend?" Saying this, he looked at the clock and then got up and opened the door. Radhika was standing in front of him in her bridal attire, but her dupatta was not on her head this time. Gaurav had just said this much when Radhika put her hand on his lips and then came inside and closed the door. "What are you doing here?" Hearing this, Radhika smiled and said, "I heard everything you were saying. I wish I could get Radhika." Gaurav got scared hearing this and said, "That's it." Hearing this, Radhika put her hand on his chest and pushed him on the bed. "There's no need for you to be scared and act so decent. I noticed how you were looking at me during the Griha Pravesh ceremony." Hearing this, Gaurav smiled and went closer to her and said, "But what is Ranveer doing at this time? He saw you coming here." No, I am asleep." Saying this, Radhika also sat beside him on the bed. Gaurav put his hand on Radhika's thin waist and started caressing her. Radhika's hands were also moving wildly on Gaurav's waist. The light in their room kept blinking for a long time. When Gaurav regained consciousness, he felt that Radhika's body was getting as cold as ice. "Radhika, move away." Gaurav tried to remove her, but she was holding Gaurav very tightly. Leave me. Now Gaurav was starting to feel pain from her grip. Was she so cute to me? I got enough of this. Saying this, he caught Gaurav's neck and threw him on the ground. When Gaurav looked at her, he saw that Radhika's pupils had disappeared and Bridal was visible. Her face had turned white and she was looking at Gaurav with a terrible smile. Gaurav came very fast and ran towards the door, but before the door could be opened, Radhika hugged him and then hugged him tightly. Gaurav said tightly. Gaurav tried to free himself from her grip, but he was helpless. He felt his ribs cracking. He gasped for a while and then died on the spot. As soon as he died, Radhika released him, and his body fell to the ground. In the morning, when Ranveer woke up, he saw that Gaurav was nowhere at home, but this didn't bother him, because Gaurav would often disappear from the house for days without informing anyone, depending on his mood. In the afternoon, someone knocked on the door. When he opened the door, the village head's son, Pratap, was standing there. "Hey Pratap Bhaiya, come," Ranveer said, "come in." Then, they both sat in the hall and started talking. Ranveer was talking to her, but there was a strange nervousness on his face. Radhika, with the pallu of her sari on her head, brought water for both of them. Pratap looked at her from top to bottom with lustful eyes. When Radhika gave him water, her eyes met Pratap's, and he smiled lightly. "Oh, so this is the bride, you've hit the jackpot, Ranveer. So I found a very beautiful girl, thank you Pratap ji." Ranveer said with a nervous smile that he thought it was Radhika. She would go back after giving water, but she sat there with them. As soon as she sat, Pratap started praising her and started joking a little. Radhika was also not reacting shyly with him like a newly married bride, but was talking nicely. Seeing this, Ranveer, for some unknown reason, had a worried look on his face. "Ranveer, I came here to ask for my money, but I forgot to give it to my new daughter-in-law. Now tell me, when will I get my money?" "Very soon. I have already incurred some expenses in the wedding, still I will hurry up and make the arrangements." Hearing this, Pratap mysteriously said, "I hope you will make the arrangements soon, like you did last time." Yes, hearing this, Ranveer's face turned pale, but he did not say anything. After that, he went to drop Pratap off at the door. That same night at 1 o'clock, "Master, master, a woman wants to meet you." "What should I say to her?" "A woman, okay, send her." Hearing this, his servant went out, and Pratap stared at the door. Seeing this, a sparkle came to his eyes, seeing a young girl with a slim waist, the pallu of her sari flying over her face, coming towards him. She closed the door and suddenly removed the pallu from her face, seeing which Pratap's heart was pierced. Radhika's glowing fair body in a sari could drive any man crazy. "Oh, it's Radhika," Pratap said smilingly. Radhika also smiled and then suddenly went close to her and hugged her. Pratap's hands also started moving wildly on Radhika's waist, and as soon as they hugged, both of them fell on the bed. Now there was only a little distance between Radhika and Pratap's faces. "Close your eyes," Radhika said, and Pratap closed his eyes smilingly. She slowly started moving her lips closer to his lips. Radhika's eyes started shining like bright red embers and her face turned white, and she started loving Pratap with impatience. Hearing her changed, terrifying voice, Pratap opened his eyes. Seeing her terrifying avatar, Pratap screamed, and with a jerk, she pushed him in the stomach. "Who are you?" he asked fearfully. In response, Radhika started laughing in a terrifying voice and said, "I am your Swarajini." "Death," Radhika said, moving closer to him again and hugging him tightly. Pratap screamed but couldn't free himself. Radhika laughed terribly, hugging him tightly, and Pratap felt his ribs breaking. With one last scream, blood oozed from Pratap's mouth, and then he lost his life. Radhika threw his body on the ground and stood in front of him, laughing loudly. When Ranveer opened his eyes, he saw that he was alone on the bed. Not finding Radhika in his room, he became worried. "Radhika, Radhika, where are you?" he shouted, but got no response. He left his room and went into the hall and called out to Radhika again, but this time there was no servant in the house, so he got no response. Then he saw the main door open, and Radhika came in. "Where are you coming from at this time of the night?" he asked in surprise. She smiled and said, "I went to meet Pratap." Hearing this, Ranveer was shocked and said angrily, "Are you in the right mind? Do you even know what you are saying? What could you do? You had to go out of compulsion. You had taken a loan from him and you had no means to repay it, that is why you went to him to talk about waiving your loan. Hearing this, Ranveer became furious and said with wide eyes, "Who told you to go and get my loan waived?" Your eyes started glowing red and Ranveer saw Swarajini's face in his face. "What is the problem in doing the same way as you got your loan waived last time? You were dead, how can you come back?" Saying this, he got scared and moved away from Radhika and she started moving closer to him. "Why can't you come?" "I have to come to get my loan waived." Ranveer said this while holding Ranveer's hand and pulled him towards himself, but Ranveer got scared and freed his hand from her and said, "You can't come back, you can't come." Only after she shouted so much, Radhika suddenly became normal. The soul that was tormenting her had left her body. Who was dead, Ranveer? Hearing this, Ranveer started looking at her with scared eyes. Radhika yelled. I asked who she was. Hearing that, Ranveer's eyes filled with tears. He then said, "Swarajini and I loved each other very much. After a year of relationship, she wanted to marry me, but I was deeply in debt from Pratap. Gaurav, besides me, had also taken a loan from Pratap. So I wasn't ready for marriage yet. When the time passed, Pratap came to our house and threatened that if we didn't pay him within a month, he would take over our house and collect his debt. Gaurav and I were very worried. One day, Gaurav said to me, 'Brother, not just in a month, we can't earn as much as we borrowed from him even in a year. Now I see only one way out of this predicament.' Which way? Pratap loves to court new brides, he loses his senses at the sight of them. You might feel bad to hear this, but if we want to get out of this predicament, this is what we'll have to do. You marry Swarajini and after the wedding, on the wedding night, I'll go to her room. You send Pratap in your place, I'll talk to him. He won't refuse this deal. If we just spend our wedding night with Sorag once, he'll give us as much time as we ask for." Hearing this, I got a little angry, but I was forced to agree. Sorag was very happy on our wedding day. Then, when Pratap went to her room on the wedding night, she was shocked. I locked the door from outside. Sarah Agni was shouting from inside to open the door, and Pratap's laughter was also coming from inside. I was helpless, so I didn't open the door. That night, Sorag spent the night with Pratap, and the morning scene left all three of us stunned. After Pratap went to sleep, Sorag had committed suicide by slitting her wrist. We found out in the morning that we couldn't understand anything. Then, late at night, away from everyone's sight, we cremated her body. After saying this, Ranveer fell silent, and Radhika's face showed a look of anger and surprise simultaneously. I thought a worthless person like you has no right to marry. Marriage is done to live together, not to get the debts incurred for debauchery waived through the wife. Just then, they both saw Swarajini's spirit standing in front of them and angrily scolding Ranveer. Swarajini, you have already killed Gaurav and Pratap, but the law will punish him for his actions. I promise that I will bring the truth of your death in front of everyone. Saying this, she gave her mobile to Ranveer and said, if you want to stay alive, call the police right now and tell them the truth. They might let you go. Ranveer was very scared at this time. He quickly took the mobile from Radhika's hand and called the police and told them everything. Now the police had left the police station to arrest him. Laughing terribly, Sarag said, "You were a coward, this fact will now come out in front of everyone through the police, but your death will be at my hands." Ranveer said, "Swaraji." She entered Radhika's body again. Seeing this, Ranveer got scared and got up and started running. Radhika held him tightly from behind. She hugged him and he started gasping for breath. Within a short while, blood started coming out of Ranveer's eyes and mouth and he died on the spot. Radhika was laughing loudly and Ranveer's blood was flowing on the ground.